Hello everyone and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4, where we are playing as South Africa, soon to be fascist South Africa. As this is the second episode, this is episode number 2. First episode was really kind of a setup one, and we're going to go ahead and get this started because we really need to get to a point where there's going to be some action. So, fascists demand a referendum, and here we go. So, yada yada yada. Perfect. So we're going to lose -5. Okay, a strong state is needed to... Oh, and there we go. Reign of Terror. And you can see our flag has changed. It looks something like a creepy alternative South African version of a swastika. And if you were to Google that image, and this is kind of interesting, it's also controversial. I do not endorse their philosophy. It is one that is filled full of hate and bigotry, but that symbol is the flag of a group in South Africa called the AWB, and they are basically for lack of a better word, to an extent, some of them are neo-Nazis. They have a message that should never be accepted by a free society. But anyways, back to the game. So the games of the 11th Olympiad have ended, and now everybody can get back to their home country and basically feel the need to try to blow the world up. And like I said, once we go fully fascist, which we have, and we now have this gentleman wearing a bow tie with... does he have a mustache? I can't tell. If he does, it's white. And but anyways, we're going to reform our government, and I think the first thing that we're going to do is, instead of having a civilian economy, we're going to go ahead and pick up partial mobilization. It's just a little better for us. Partial mobilization, consumer goods factory, 20% versus 30%. And now you basically get military construction speed, factory construction speed is 10%, and then conversion costs go down. Although we really don't plan on converting anything. And so in the meantime, we need to... we're not up to snuff there, which is okay. Let's figure out, what do we need? I'm okay with that. Tank-wise, I would like to go ahead and get the Matilda. But I do believe it would be better to pick up interwar artillery. I think that that's going to serve us better. And we got 89 days on dispersed industry, and how many days do we have left here? We're about halfway done with industrial effort. Let's go check in on the Spanish Civil War. And this thing's been raging for what? May, June, July, August, almost 5 months, and I have a feeling that Franco is going to end up winning this thing again. I'm assuming that I will have a playthrough at some point where he loses, but I do believe that between watching other Hearts of Iron videos, playing this, and also reading on the forums, he is almost guaranteed a victory. And historically speaking, one of the reasons he was guaranteed a victory is when the Nationalists fought the Republicans. The Republicans, while they actually had, I believe, access to more troops, potentially more weapon stores, the whole 9 yards, the Nationalists, led by Franco, were actually better trained military men. And because of that, that experience ultimately allowed them to defeat the Republicans, and you had Nationalist Spain. Also, that came out of that was a period where I believe Ernest Hemingway, I think, was an ambulance driver, and I think that I want to say that it was through some of those experiences that inspired a lot of his some of his works. I think For Whom the Bell Tolls may have been inspired by the Spanish Civil War and what he saw, and definitely I think A Farewell to Arms, if I remember correctly from reading that book, definitely was inspired by what he saw there. But he was part of that lost generation, and rightfully so. I mean, they saw a lot of things that weren't great, but it does look like, Nationalist Spain is definitely encroaching on Madrid, and once they do that, that's pretty much, the beginning of the end for them. But we'll wait and see kind of how that conflict plays out. I have a feeling that our friends in Japan will shortly attempt and probably most likely successfully enforce their dominance in this part of Southeast Asia. And I say Southeast Asia, that's probably technically Southeast Asia, but in this part of East Asia. So in the meantime, we plug away. And that's really all we can do. We're still, how are we doing logistics-wise? Division training. We need infantry equipment. Yeah, those military factories are going to be vital because we need more guns. We can't even train divisions because we don't have enough guns. And we're going to need those divisions before we, attempt to go after Portugal. Like I said, these are their colonial holdings, holdover from where Europeans carved up Africa. But we need at least enough men to beat them back and beat them out of these respective territories that they have. And I did want to look at this. I think this would be important to look at. So if you look at our national spirit, we definitely have nationalism. So fascism support grows on a daily basis of plus 0.2, and national unity plus 5, and reign of terror. So political power gain plus 10%. That's actually not as bad as I thought it was. So there's our industrial effort, and that basically gave us a one-time 50% research bonus for industry, and now we're going to go ahead and pick up our first 2 free military factories. And before you ask, okay, we have improved the infrastructure to 5. Wow, in Southwest Africa. We're going to go ahead and queue up 2 more. I'd like to kind of have everything at 7 before we really start hammering away at building additional factories. And to tell you the truth, it'll be once we get, radar is going to be key. So probably not as key as I'm making it sound, but it'll definitely be key from an informational standpoint. I don't necessarily think that we're going to encounter a crazy amount of air from Portugal or Belgium or Belgian Congo, but I do think that if we go to war with France, and this is kind of under the assumption that Germany successfully invades France, installs Vichy France as a puppet state, I want to say that France will have some of their air power stationed in Africa, which, give or take, could be a good or a bad thing. If France is a part of the Allies, though, we definitely go to war with the Allies. So, we may be joining the Axis after all. I think the only way that you play South Africa, and you play them and you don't have to worry about any of the traditional European powers, is you would probably take them communist and side with the Comintern. There again, the problem lies that if you do that, you may run into what I did in my Mexico campaign, where I just tried to take El Salvador, and boom, before you know it, you're at war with the Allies. So there's probably really no great way to focus on this. The one big difference between South Africa and Mexico, minus size, manpower, the whole 9 yards, is once Mexico pretty much conquers most of Latin America, they can either go fight the United States, which is pure suicide, probably well up to 1945, or they go down and they try to take over South America. In hindsight, I think if I could do anything differently in this Mexico playthrough that I did, I would not have joined the Axis. I would have gone after, not the Axis, but the Comintern, it was Red Mexico. I would have definitely snaked down, and then I would have gone after Colombia or Venezuela, and then maybe Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, Paraguay, Argentina, Uruguay, and Chile, and then tried to form a faction with Brazil, which their focus tree, their focus tree allows for that. Some of that is a product of me being enthralled with having Stalin as a friend. Some of it is also a product of me not reading their focus tree correctly. So there's a lesson to be learned there. go through the focus tree, especially if you're playing the road to 56 and you're playing a country that you're unfamiliar with and they don't have the generic focus tree but they have a specialized one. Read it, because if you don't read it and really make sure you know what you're doing, you can put yourself in a little bit of a pickle. But, you know, that's not the worst thing in the world. So, while we wait, we will check in on this. They still haven't taken... Wow, they haven't taken Madrid yet. Republican Spain may be putting up a little better fight. Although, I have a feeling that that'll change. Potentially, wow. Being supported by the British, though. Okay. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, they're Soviet Union is supporting Republican Spain? Get the heck out of town. They're being supported by the Italians. Interesting. That is quite interesting. So the Soviets would side with them. Well, that is... I'm not sure that really makes sense to me, but, you know, more power to them, I guess. And we can modify our government again. Let's see if we can find any benefit to do so just yet. High command, army regrouping, armor, definitely want that. Alright, so we picked up dispersed industry. We can now go for, I believe it's going to be construction. Yep, 50%, so 88 days on that, 47 on interwar artillery. Okay, what do I want to do with you? What about this? Nope. Captain of industry. Yeah, we're gonna pick up him. Mr. Havinga. That is quite a name. Havinga. It's really not that hard to pronounce, it just looks funny. So in the meantime, doing pretty well on infrastructure still. Okay, we'll boost Cape to 7, and then Transvaal. Yeah, it was the Republic of the Transvaal, and then Natal. Okay, I can live with that. And then Southwest Africa, we'll get to 7. That'll be good for us when it comes time to build more factories. And as I speak, we should be finishing this armament effort. Yeah, we are. 8 days, and then we'll pick up the second one. And with that, I mean, we still probably, yeah, you can see here, you know, oh, we finally do. We have, do we have enough in storage? Not really. You know, that's the only problem if you pick, and it's obscure is not the right word. Minor, I don't like to use the word minor. Okay, so now we have tensions heat up in Asia. That's good. Minor's not the right word either, but if you pick a country that doesn't have a specialized focus tree, you really, I mean, you start from the ground up. So the Anglo-Irish trade war ends. Good for them. It's dumb for them to have a trade war. And armament effort 2. Get our other 2 free military factories. And guess what, guys? We are going to definitely boost gun production. And that should definitely aid them. It probably would be worth it to take a look at our trade. So we've got 2 steel. That's it. Wow, 46 steel. Good grief. A ton of chromium. Decent amount of that. The only thing that I see that we're probably going to be missing is oil. And we'll get some rubber here and some more aluminum from Mozambique. Angola. That's what I was looking for. We'll get steel in Angola. We go after these guys. We get rubber and tungsten. Definitely worth it. More rubber and tungsten. More rubber. Where do we get the oil? I know Africa has oil. Ooh. I believe that's like Sudan. Ah, crap. Well, we're definitely going to be trading for oil. That's what it looks like. I mean, the fact, golly, they start off with a ton of chromium. And they actually start off with a decent amount of steel, too. So, yeah, infantry. Definitely be the backbone. But we're going to need oil, so we'll have to trade for that. You know, the good thing is that the Middle East has a ton of oil, as well as anyone who will trade it to us. So I'm not too worried about that. In the meantime, let's research-wise, 13 days, and we got some time on that. Once again, I don't want to call it a filler episode, but a little bit slow. So while it's slow, before we take any action, we will check in. Madrid is still holding, but as you can see, the nationalists are definitely gaining their ground. They can in turn, they could go after, where's Barcelona? Am I just missing it? I believe, oh, I am missing it because it's up here. That's dumb of me. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Now they're getting close. My gut tells me there's probably a pretty hefty battle for Madrid going on, and they're probably going to lose that battle. Wars rage. The Spanish Civil War has been going on now for a decent amount of time. You know, nothing too crazy, but a decent amount of time. We're still good on time. Okay, so interwar artillery. Time to figure out what the next thing. It is 1937. So nothing there that I really want to get right now. God, I really would like the Matilda, but I'm not sure if that's the right thing to do. 38's not here yet. Okay, well, let's go back to the engineering tab and let's just pick up this mechanical computing. Since I think I've kind of made my mind up that we're just going to beeline it for our tech slots. I think that it's too vital for us to get those. And in the meantime, we're definitely going to need some more factories. So let's go ahead and see if we can queue some of those up. We're still sitting at 12. We'll get some free ones, but I want military factories. And it looks like, yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Go ahead and queue up 3 after they get done improving the infrastructure in those 3, I want to call them counties. I've been playing too much Crusader Kings 2. They're not counties, they're actually geographic areas. Provinces, territories, whatever you want to call them. Okay. Well, and Spanish Civil War still going to rage on. See what's happening in Asia. Mao, what's wrong, Mao? You going to lose, Mao? Mao Zedong. God, that is a beautiful horseshoe if I've ever seen one. Beautiful. And let's check out Papa Stalin. What are you doing? Infrastructure. And oh, Hitler. Privatized the Reichsbahn. Not sure what the Reichsbahn is. I need to read up on that history-wise. Let's see what the U.S. is doing. Are you still led by a wheelchair? Yep. Home of the free. In Mexico. Ooh. And let's see any other countries that are noteworthy. What are you doing, France? Economic reforms. Whoa, France, 42% communist. Are you going to ban the communist, or are you going to go communist? I've always wanted to see a playthrough where they do go communist. I'm not sure that will ever happen. Switzerland, what are you doing? You're still kind of, I don't want to say confused, but you got a lot of opinions here. Interesting. Intellectual land defense. Good for them. And Benito, modernizing your artillery. Good for you. What about Mr. Artaturk? Women in aviation. Okay. And Poland? Huh. Is this still Mr. Chamberlain? Is he in power yet? I want to see him. Stanley. Oh, Stanley. Appeasement. Quite fascinating. What does appeasement do? God, I have never played as one of the major powers. Not because it doesn't interest me, but... So, appeasement. Oh, national unity. And we have trained our first division there. I kind of want to split these guys. It'll just be easier. And what do you know? We got some more military factories, don't we? We're going to go ahead and bolster our construction ones. And we picked up... It is 37. I'm going to continue down the industry track, but probably not as heavily as I have in the past. We can reform our government once again, and the question becomes, what do we reform it with? I don't want to do that. None of those. Law enforcement. Balanced approach. There we go. And we got free military factories. We got 2 free ones. I think we owe it to ourselves to start producing artillery and support equipment. And we are short on tungsten, so we will trade for tungsten. And we need to pick someone who we're not going to declare war on, so that automatically disqualifies Portugal for the time being. United Kingdom. Would y'all be willing to do that? Yeah, we can do that. Perfect. I get there's no template set. And right now it looks like, yep. We don't have a lot. We don't have a lot of stuff stockpiled. But, and I'm kind of surprised the Spanish Civil War isn't over. Man, how long are they going to hold Madrid? I mean, it has been going on for a year. I think in most playthroughs it's done in a year and a half. I have seen it end as early as 6 months. I don't necessarily think that that's going to be this playthrough. I have watched another one where the guy took the Republicans and he won. And then he did some pretty nasty stuff to Portugal, and he did some pretty nasty stuff to France. So, all in all, that was a good playthrough for him. Let's see, what is it going to cost me to get a leader here? 5. I'll do that. So Van Rensburg. Wait a minute. Are you by chance? I wonder. Lewis. God, they must be brothers because they look a heck of a lot alike. Who would have known? So we will continue to build armies here before we declare war on Portugal. Ideally, we're going to need quite a force to do so. Construction efforts coming along nicely, and yeah, we got some time on tech wise. Ooh, we definitely have some time on tech. So in the meantime, we can kind of plan this. We'll pick up these 2 construction. We'll pick up war economics. I definitely think I want to do the, yeah, we're going to basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we may have to pick up 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, if math serves me correctly, that's basically going to be almost 2 years worth of focus stuff. So Soviet withdrawal. Alright, so the Soviets withdrew their forces. It sounds like they don't want to repeat the Russo-Japanese War. that I believe was pretty devastating to Russia. I could be wrong about that. You may want to fact check me, as I have filled my brain with a bunch of useless history information, but I believe there definitely was a war between Russia and Japan, and it did not go very well for Russia. That's all pre-Soviet Union, though. That's back when they were I guess they were the Kingdom of Russia? Russian Empire? That's better. Not the kingdom. Huh. Back when they were controlled by them, their czars. Terrifying figures. Oh, has Madrid fallen? No, Madrid has not fallen. What in the world? Well, as soon as Madrid falls, I don't know if it's a matter of when, but a matter of if. Excuse me, I don't know if it's a matter of if. It's more of a matter of when. When Madrid falls, that's kind of going to be the domino that basically creates a lot of heartache for him. I think if Franco can take this province, he could definitely cut him off. And man, if I were, golly, my first move would be to cut that off right there. One of my first ones. I would definitely be making a rush to head towards Valencia. But that's just me. If you played this game, or you're new to it, or you're a veteran, you know that the computer does things at times that can be really good, and then at times it makes absolutely no sense. Can we zoom in? What are these guys? 3 to 5, that's it. 3 to 5. 3 to 5. 27. Okay, I feel a little better about that. And this guy is 6. Good. Good. Yeah, I have a feeling that we'll be able to pretty much beat Portugal pretty good. In fact, I know we will be able to whip up on them. And we got just a little more time left. Maybe, just maybe. Yeah, we'll wait to see the construction effort tick and start the second one. Meanwhile, still got some time. Still got about half a year, no, a third of a year. Golly, 240 days in a year. What are you thinking? Yeah, about a third of a year on both of those. So yeah, we'll let this this thing tick 6 more days. Pick up a new one, pause the game, make a cut, do my I can actually probably do my end of the line spill here. So as we're winding this one down, guys, thank you for joining me. I really hope you enjoyed it. I would ask that you'd leave the video a like. It helps, you know, not only expose this video to the rest of YouTube, but it also helps expose YouTube to this channel. And growing viewership is something that I want to see happen. Furthermore, if you want to continue to see additional content, subscribe to the channel, as it does come out on a twice a daily schedule, 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. Central Time. So y'all do the math on that. But we did finally get construction effort, and we're going to go ahead and pick up Interesting Times. Yes, Interesting Times. Pick up construction effort 2. Go ahead and get that one in queue, and we're going to make a cut. We're about out of time. So, as always, y'all be good, and I will see you in the next episode. And I did not hit pause. I unpaused it. What do you know? Oh, the Hindenburg blew up. So we'll end on that one. The Hindenburg did blow up. Sometimes it doesn't. Y'all have a good one. I'll see you in the next episode.